Hello and welcome to Dragon Star 999. I was previously known as that name. I have changed it due to the Guardians requesting that I change it to Dragon Priestess 999 or Dragon Mother 999, also known as Samara Indara ASMR, which is my backup channel. I'm a healer, I'm a shamaness, I come from a long lineage of medicine women, I'm a Reiki master, I'm a spiritual teacher, I'm a walk-in soul from the galactic starseed realms of Orion, Bellatrix on Orion, as well as Pleiades, Arcturus, Lyra, Sirius, Andromeda, Rocancrian, Pegasus, Venus, and Neptune. I have various ties to starseed past lives, as well as a walk-in soul experience from my Galactic Federation of Light, which is the Galactic Council of Light. Today I'm going to talk about the evil eye and shedding the projections from the evil eye. So what is the evil eye? It's when someone aims this intended hatred or stemming from jealousy or envy, competition, and they shoot you this look like, and it's like a squint like that, and it could be when your back is turned. I just caught someone doing this and my back was turned, but I saw her reflection in the micro. So I've made a special blend for us today to counteract those evil eyes, because what they do is they hook into you, and whatever intention that person holds in their being or their heart or their aura for you, it could hook into the back of you, so your back, and then next thing you know, you start getting pains, or the back of your head or the sides of your head or the top and even your pineal gland area. So we need to decalcify all of this, and I put some beautiful Angelica in here, as well as Quita Maldición, as well as Yagruma, as well as bay leaf, as well as a star anise, some turmeric powder, and some ground sage. The thing is getting a really good lighter to light this up, and I've been through many the past days, and it's not easy to find a good lighter to spark this up, although I will say that the ground sage powder does spark up pretty well. And I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I invite you to go on this journey with me as I help you and teach you how to protect yourself from the evil eye, hatred, how to deflect their negative energies, how to get rid of these protrusions and these projections and intrusions from beings who send us unwarranted energy, energy we didn't ask for, from their insecurities, energy vampires, the lurking ones who they'll stand on the sidelines or they'll stand in the shadows, and they will literally siphon your energy because they were not born with a divine source light. So they act as these parasites or these power plugs, and they need to hook into your light and just use you to forge their energy and to get energy from you. So you need to protect yourself from these lower vibrational beings. And how do you know there's a lurking energy vampire? You can feel it, especially if you're on a spiritual path. You just want to get a good burn going. You can feel their heavy energy, especially if you're spiritual or you're awakened, you have gifts. You can feel their heaviness, their sliminess. You could, even if you don't have psychic gifts, you could feel it in your gut instinct. You could just feel something isn't right about this person. They're always around me. They're always plugging into my energy, or, my father's house or my property, and it's just, they're using like your energy to fuel their hatred forward to you, so they can knock you off the pedestal, so they can create obstacles and problems for you so you don't be successful, because that's what they're ultimately jealous of, and that's their end goal. Is they don't want you to surpass them. They want you to be low. They want you to be under their shoe. They want to suck your energy And I'm sorry if this sounds like a scary session, but they want to siphon your energy and just really take it for their own. And then they want to live a good life, but then they want to go and narcissist smear campaign behind your back and just really do all of these evil, awful things. And this ties into the reptilian star groups, opposite of my star soul groups. And I would like to just say that it is not your fault that these beings are like this, okay? You're here to fight the good fight. You are here to vibrate in your truth and in your light and in your aura. You are not here to people please. You are not here to fold and to live up to others' expectations of you. You are here to do the inner work, so if you do shadow work, and you are here to live out your authentic truth, your birthright. And I was talking about destiny swapping last night in one of my videos, to where you could have witches in your family and not even know it, and they can call themselves Christian, but they'll be wicked as all hell in their hearts. Their hearts will be black or empty, or they'll take away everyone or everything that they think that you love, and they'll try to really destroy you. And they do this in sneaky ways. Okay, and this is a huge, huge sign that you have a lurking energy vampire in your life. And it could be your own people. It could be your uncle or your grandpa or your cousin or your nephew or your sister or your best friend. And depending the severity of the bond, of the karmic bond, that person can just siphon that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to really be careful with the energies that you share with people, because they will try to fuck with you. And like these entities who are in like your mom, your grandpa, they won't always have pure intentions, because they could be from the reptilian star seeds, or and you can really feel it, but you could also sense it in your gut, but you could also look into their eyes, because the eyes are the windows of the soul. So you can see a wicked or evil entity through a reptilian eye. So like a reptilian eye, it's like a slit, and then it's like a specific color, whether it's a grayish blue or a yellowish green. And I had a reptilian, for instance, attack me with some Archonic conditioning the other day when I was in the store. And she, I just asked her for this. It's like, hey, do you happen to have like ground sage here? She was like, well, if you prayed and if you believe in God, you wouldn't need any of that. And it's just like, they are very sneaky, they're very calculative, and they're very manipulative and shrewd, to the point where I don't trust Christians anymore because of the attacks that they have done to me, and to the previous soul who incarnated and who was incarnating in this body previous to me. She went through the worst, because I am a walk-in soul. And I don't trust energy vampires, of course, because they will make everything on the outside look peachy and sweep all of the truth and all of, their abuse and their wickedness and their souls and their intentions, sweep it under the rug. And they'll sit there and they'll play like manipulation and victim to your neighbors or to your extended family or to your immediate family. And they'll play people against you. And then the whole time they'll be lurking. Like, just say I'm in here doing a Reiki video, there'll be like 3 lurking around me out there, and they'll be listening to what I'm saying. And it's just like, focus on you. And then I'm just like, okay, they don't know how. So this is me, that is them. And then I have to draw my energetic boundaries. And I want to say that we can call in our spirit animals and our spirit guides to protect us. Because I had another Archon Christian, reptilian, say, oh, who's going to protect you? And then she proceeded to threaten me, demean me, minimize me, gaslight me, turn loads and loads of people, whether it was at my daughter's school, neighbors on the street, extended family members, just sneakily, calculatively plot and plan and manipulate me, like manipulate them to see me in the way that she wanted them to see me, to ruin my life or ruin my reputation, or just, she didn't want me to be happy. So it was just really bad for a very long time. But I ended up moving away. I ended up becoming, I ended up working on my shadow self, becoming the free spirit that I am. I ended up ascending and surpassing her on energetic levels and being a warrior and then a walk-in soul, to the point where now, you know, even though I've come back in the environment, I now have knowledge and light and medicine woman even deeper in abilities, because I've always had that ingrained, to share with you, and so much more. So I want to bring the focus back to us today, and not to the intrusions or the intruders or the energy vampires or their hatred. And the evil eye is everywhere. It could be people at the mall just like looking at you, feeling jealous because of something they lack, and then just going in your back. You know what I mean? And like sometimes I understand like you have contacts in, like I do, and then like sometimes it's like you wake up or you go like under that vent in the store, and then like the fan blows on them and you're like that, and you don't mean to, but you can really feel and sense in your gut instinct and your intuition when someone doesn't have the purest intention for you. So I want to, now that we got the smoke going, I want to shake the rattle, and I want to do some crystal tapping, and also invite you to, I want to do an iolite tapping today. So I got this in the mail as a gift, and I want to burn some peach leaves and cinnamon stick for good energies. So this is iolite. And I'm going to imbue some Reiki in here. And I'm going to kind of decalcify your pineal glands, this area here of the third eye, up here on the forehead. Because a lot of us, we don't realize it, but if we're being affected by these intrusions of the evil eye, or their projections, you end up being like this and walking around all day, and you don't want to do that, you know what I mean? So let's clean it, you know? And when you feel like something's not right, you'll feel it, and you walk around mad all day, and sometimes you absorb, if you're an empath, you'll absorb people's energies. You'll absorb their hatred or their anger, and you won't even know, and then you'll confuse it for yours. And then I want to talk about like their projections. They cause confusion. So I want to like cut and pull these cords. And I do have a beautiful big, I'm trying to think if this is a smoky quartz or a black tourmaline. And I also have the baby here of it. And I want to first start with this. So we're going to be cutting and pulling. And I'm going to be blowing everything out the window. Just feeling for the cord. So the window's open, so the energies are just, okay. Use some dragon's breath to blow. Disgusting energy. Okay. And it's not energy from you. I'm talking about the projections from others who maybe, you know, you've had past arguments with because you didn't see eye to eye, and maybe they escalated, or maybe it was like a jealous coworker or someone in traffic that you got, you know, into a fight with. It could be from anything. So I want you to just focus on your breath, and I want you to focus on releasing these cords. It's very heavy and murky. And I also want to use my Apache tear today. Excuse me. My Apache tear is really wonderful to suck the energy out. And I want to use my chevron amethyst with this, and I'm going to pull and blow. Okay. Kind of decalcify your pineal glands, and then I'm just going to use these to now pull and blow any cords. And I don't know about you guys, but it's been a really heavy, rough past like 3, 4, 5 nights energetically, because there's solar G1 storms, and it's just heavy energies. And then the cosmic, celestial, angelics, the cosmic angels, are also clearing out old timelines and bringing about new grids to Earth, and using crystalline DNA to reactivate everything. And I kind of want to show you this crystal. This is a shamanic jasper, very special dragon mother crystal that the cosmic dragons want me to use for our session today to heal you and kind of fluff your aura. And don't let anyone ever make you feel bad. Don't ever let anybody make you feel like you're not doing enough. Okay, this is a message for some of you. Don't let anyone ever make you feel like you're not enough or that you're not doing enough. Some people, especially the reptilian agenda, they want you to be on autopilot. They want you to be workaholics. They want you to go, 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 which puts people in these awfully distressed states to where they gain addictions because they're trying to keep up with the expectations of their boss or their mother or their father or their wife or their husband, and they're trying so hard to just be this perfect, they're trying to do everything that they feel like they should do or their responsibilities, but then they end up developing an alcohol problem, or they develop a marijuana problem, or they develop a sex addiction problem, or any type of, an opioid addiction or a vaping addiction, and if you have any of these issues, please reach out to professional help, because they could really affect not just you and your body, but they will affect the people who care about you and love you, okay? It will really start to have a detrimental effect. And, you need to draw some energetic boundaries and then start living your life to, okay, this person's expectation is too much for me. This is not working for me. I need to step out of their expectation and their box, recenter, and figure out a plan for my life to where, okay, that's not working for me, that is them, but I'm going to do this for me because this works for me and it helps my nerves or my ADHD or my anxiety. You have to use your heads and really be like, okay, like right now I'm on autopilot. I can't keep up with driving the kids to school in the morning, going to work. Like, it's just so much pressure. You know what I mean? And I understand, like, if you don't have a support system, and that's where it gets really tough, because I've been there. But you have to really just start to take a step back and see what works for you. And a lot of this comes from the reptilian agenda, to the point where they will they want to distract the masses, so your inner power is dimmed, so you can't vibe in your power, and so you can work for another boss in your 9 to 5 and be in the matrix and be controlled. And it's very difficult for us starseeds to live life like that. So the reptilians, who are always on autopilot, or like even the boomers or the Gen X's, are like, oh, get a job, do this, like, where's the money? Oh, you don't pay the bills here. So don't ever let anyone make you feel bad or demean you, because you're doing the best that you can. And this is, if you struggle with being attacked or being a target, and I hate to use that word, but if you are a targeted individual and you're targeted for your gifts, or you're targeted because you're not living up to the archons, who are the reptilians or the alpha draconians expectations of you, they will try to really drag you down and ruin your reputation and try to ruin aspects of your life and steal your joy and plug that energy vampire cord into you and attack you and take you down and be like, do you have a job yet? And they'll fuck with you. And they'll be like, oh, where are the kids? Oh, they're with their dad now? Like, they will just be so wicked because they're in the matrix, or they're in the 9 to 5, or they're just a basic bitch. Like, there's nothing special that they embody. They're just on fucking autopilot, and they're programmed like this. You know, they're so far into the matrix, whether they're in a cult, whether it's Scientology or an Abrahamic religion, you know, and all of this energy spreads. So like if you're at church and then it's like, you know, I don't know if they still do this, like pass the basket around, or oh, I just wanted, like, what does the preacher say? I want to take a moment and I want you to introduce yourself and shake someone's hand and say hi, and then like you start hugging. So then the wickedness and the spirits of like their hearts spread out, or through the hand, through the touch of the hug, or even through eye contact. These spirits can travel, okay, and they spread throughout the masses, and they're ultra reptilian and archonic, and then those influences will start to infiltrate and hook into the human mind to the point where they will all start thinking the same, like the Matrix, okay? Like, get a 9 to 5. Oh, your daughter's not working? What a loser. You know what I mean? Like, judgment, societal programming and societal judgment, and it's so negative. And then it's like, before you know it, you have masses against you, and like neighbors will look at you like with disgust, and then these people, they will do this to you, you know, the Archon reptilians, and then they call themselves Christian, or they'll be like, oh, something's wrong in your life, it's because you need God, and then they'll use God. But it's like, okay, do you know how much wickedness you hold in your souls that you have to face God, the God that you're telling, you know, that you're like religion pushing me on to go to? You're gonna have to face your God eventually for the wrongdoings you've done to others, and you want to hide behind the dogma of religion or your religious beliefs and call it a, you know, Jesus Christ or whatever, which Jesus was a shaman. He was a that whole crucifixion story was to condition the masses of people to be in fear about him being on the cross. He was a shaman, he was a healer, he was a medicine man, and you know, they use that in the Archonic and the reptilian religion to place fear in the mortals, so the mortals will go into the matrix, so the mortals will be blind to the truth about what's happening in Bohemian Grove, what's happening in the elite, in the, you know, with Freemasons and butterfly monarch programming, and you know what's really happening in these labs, and these government agents are, you know, and they tell you these things they show you these things, excuse me, through movies in Hollywood. They will show you like the truth, like in the movie Push of 2009, or The Fifth Element. They will show you in I Am Legend, and it will be like they're showing you like War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. They're showing you the truth behind Archonic, Reptilian, Alpha Draconian agendas. So you have to really pay attention. You can't always live your life by the expectations of others, because you'll end up getting destroyed. And you know, even if you want to vibe in your truth, and even if you want to live the life of your dreams and open a Reiki channel and quit your 9 to 5 and get out of the matrix, these archonic beings from the churches, and it's always from a church. I don't care if it's a Christian church or like, you know, it's always someone who hides behind religion, and they almost lead like a double life. Like it's like leaders. So it could be like politicians, or people in higher positions in the home, to where like someone you know, gets their ex-husband or their deceased husband's disability checks, and then they sit on that, and then they're just like, they sit up on their pedestal or their high horse, and then they judge you, and then they like kind of control like everything in the house. And then like I've had someone control other family members against me, to the point where I was getting targeted really bad, and to the point where they were manipulating masses of people against me to see me in this awful false light that they painted for me. They tried to paint me out to be someone that I wasn't, and I had to protect myself on various occasions. And eventually I moved to a plaza, okay, and I got 2 jobs, and then, their negative energies, depending on the powers or the gifts that they embody, okay? So, like, I was affected by alpha draconians and reptilians, archons, and I was also affected by witchcraft from witches. So that's why it's important to declare your boundaries and say, I am protected. Let's call in my animal guides, So, like, let's do that now. And I want to get this going here. I'm going to get a good burn for this powder because it's sage, and I just really want to cleanse the energy. Okay, I just want to cleanse out any type of archonic, just any type of like intrusions or negative energy, and I'm gonna be doing it to your back as well. I'm getting kind of like beside you. So we're gonna call in some animal spirit guides now. We're going to be calling in dragon energy, moth energy, dolphin energy, the mammals, crow energy, horse energy, black cat energy, panther energy, cheetah energy, lion energy. And you can now also call on your guides. Animals, please come, our spirit animals, and protect us and shield us from all lower vibrational harmful beings that don't have good intentions for us, and shield us from and protect us from their evil eyes, their projections, their intrusions, and any psychic attacks that we can't directly see or sense, and always get us out of the path of danger, and cloak our thoughts, and don't let those archonic reptilian beings or energy vampires siphon our energy. And so it is. So you see, you could just put together something that works for you, or else you'll keep getting attacked, to the point where I was hated on by many family members, and they just really tried to ruin my life for years. And it was like not even extended family, it was like my direct childhood family, like where I descended from. It wasn't even like my mom's like extended family, which she did tell a lot of things too, and she told a lot of neighbors too, as well as my sister. She telling like people things, and that's the problem. So where like their delusions and their like almost obsession with me, it was like they shared delusional disorder, and it was like obsessions. And then it was just like, okay, they tried to turn my children against me. They eventually wanted the kids to be out of my father's house after he passed, and it was just like, I overcame so much just to get to where I am now in DCF, and the system never took my children. But not being with them every day, and then seeing someone who's very mentally ill and who maybe should have been in a long-term mental health facility or a mental prison for burning my face and not raising our kids, going in and out of the psych ward like over 100 times in her life, like maybe like, she shouldn't have had her kids, and someone like me, more nurturing, more of light, should have kept her kids. So it was like a whole destiny swap. So this is like what I mean. Destiny swapping it's very rare. Okay, if you're a target individual, you understand what this is, or maybe you don't. So I had my mother destiny swap my sister and I. So, she basically went to people in my kids' schools and told them that like I had the illness my sister had, and then my sister was good, and she did, like, she swapped us like that. And then she just kept like saving my sister and like bailing her out from like all of these institutions or jail, and like protecting her and her kids who are extremely inconsiderate and disrespectful, and it's extremely wrong. And I do know that the God that she worships is going to have her pay penalties for this, because it breaks karmic laws on so many levels. And even Goddess Mayat, where she weighs the feather against a soul, and if the soul is heavier, it's like you're out, like you're not going to be going to paradise or to the heavens. And she has a lot of karma to answer for not protecting her grandkids from me, and also not for protecting me, because I'm her daughter too. But I did say something to her the other day where I was like, we're family, and she just felt like I wasn't her family. I was like, we're family, right? And she was just like, yeah. And she was like sitting there just grilling me with the evil eye, like, I don't feel like you're my family. Like, it felt so profound, and it was just like, wow, like, okay, you know? And I should have known when she started becoming friends with, like, my enemies from high school who were jealous of me, or my ex-mother-in-law who was very jealous of me, who ruined my life and, um, you know, manipulated her son to basically betray me in the worst way, like she did to his father. And it was just like, it was just so foul, and it's so wrong on so many levels. But I'm coping and doing the best that I can, you know what I mean, with what I have left, with what, because she destiny swapped her and I. So I definitely am doing the best that I can with what was done to me. And this is like, I'm dealing with the aftermath of the attacks. And I'm more than a survivor, I'm a warrior. So I'm a winged warrior, and I work with light angelics, the celestial beings of light, the solar flame angels. And I'm not talking about Abrahamic angels. I'm not talking about like Raphael and Michael, the archangels. I'm not even talking about the seraphim. I'm talking about not classes of heaven angels. I'm talking about angelics, the cosmic universe angelics. So we have angels all in the cosmic universes, okay? And it is so beautiful. They will use their shields and their swords, as well as their solar fire, okay, to chase away this darkness, like whatever darkness is in my mother, like that type of entity. They will, and then she'll get really passive aggressive, and then she'll start slamming things, and she doesn't know how to communicate. So it just gets really negative, and then it's just like the constant criticism every day, the constant demeaning, the constant lighting the fire under, my ass, like trying to make me or mold me into something that the archons, programmed her. And it's just like, I wish sometimes that she could really see me for my gifts instead of what she wants me to be, and like, it's just like, she never will. I wish that she could see me for my heart. I do have a huge heart. I have a lot of light. I have a lot of spiritual knowledge, and I wish that she would give me credit for it. But instead, she just like projects this toxic blame to me, or like she'll project very negative energy because she wants me to do something for her, like get a job and take care of the bills, and you know what I'm saying. And it's just like, with my spiritual awakenings, I wish she would understand that I can't go back into the matrix and the 9 to 5. I'm a highly sensitive person, and it's not a weakness. That HSP is a highly sensitive person, and it was a book written by Dr. Elaine Aron in California, and just with all of her attacks and all of, like, she basically made like my sister's family like an army against me to fight me. And it was just really like hurtful for all of these years. And I was protecting my kids, and I was protecting my baby, and I went away. And then it's like, she would always follow me, and then she would always hook me back in. Or like, if I had my car in my dad's driveway, she would be like, oh, I have clothes for you. I need you to come and tow your car, and I need the SUV back. But she had given me the SUV. And then later she would deny it and be like, I never gave you that SUV. But she sat there after my brother died, got his car, and was like, here's the keys to your car. Are you going to go pick up your girls from school today with your car? And then later be like, I never said that. Like, that is just such toxic gaslighting, to the point where it almost makes you feel, and this is how they do it. It's the worst type of manipulation. So I want you to be aware, and I'm using my live examples to better make you knowledgeable or aware, so you can ascend above. Maybe you'll be out in work, Or maybe you'll be in a family gathering and maybe you have toxic family members in your household. And then maybe you'll be like, oh, I remember Samara Andara, I remember the session, like she was saying this and this is reminding me of how this person's making me feel and what they're doing to me, and let me just, step outside, declare my energetic boundary. I am fortified in my energetic boundary. I reject the cord and the manipulation that this person is trying to send me. I reject the line of energy of their obsessions, their thoughts, their ill will intentions to me. I reject their evil eye. I reject and deflect all of their psychic attacks and their envy and jealousy or competition away from me. I am protected. I am fortified. And then you can call in like Black Panther spirit guide, Eagle spirit guide, Hawk spirit guide, Shark spirit guide, protect me. You know what I mean? Ladybug spirit guide, Dragon Mother spirit guide. Please protect and shield and cloak my thoughts. And cloaking your thoughts is very important, because if other people in your bloodline or other people outside in like public, have gifts or have those heightened intuitions and have their own powers, you're easily susceptible to attack, especially if you are profoundly clairvoyant and a visionary, and you have premonitions and just active visions, and you're very like up here a lot. So, and that's not a problem. That's not a curse. You are divinely gifted and you are very spiritually evolved and awakened, and it's a very good thing because you're able to use your powers, but as much as you use your powers and your gifts, you must cloak your thoughts. This is a beautiful labradorite. So I use my live examples to help you so you can escape psychic attack, spiritual attack, energy vampire attack, Archon reptilian attack, alpha draconian wickedness. Okay, like my nephews, one of them is a witch. He's a witch with his girlfriend, and he lives away from here, and he's 25. And then my nephew, who's 28, who still lives with us, he is an alpha draconian. Okay, so he is very telepathic with me. So he also is very telepathic and very influential among the energy and the thought form energy in this house over my mother. So whatever he thinks or however he feels, he is able to project that thought of energy, okay, onto my mother's mind and hook it into her mind. So if he doesn't have a job, but he's like, oh, she needs to get a job, and he's 28 and I'm 41, and my mother, who's very easily influenced also, and she does influence others too, the masses, but he's hooked into her so much, as well as his father, that she's just so far gone and she's in denial. And there's nothing that you can do anymore. Like, it's like, that is them, this is me. It's like, I don't have control over other people. I'm not a witch. I'm a star seed. I'm an ascended, soul. I'm an evolved soul. I'm a shamaness. But I've had his brother and his brother's girlfriend cast on me on and off for years, and tried to control the outcome of who stays in my father's house after he passed away and what they're allowed to get away with. And I've seen so much injustice in my life because of this situation, and this is the truth and the light. And unfortunately, my dad and my brother, they passed, but I'm still standing, I'm still alive, I'm still breathing. And that's why it's like, I'm here to fight the good fight. I'm the light, and my children are the lights. And for like her to side with them and just have the darknesses back, it was just like, it was soul wrenching for a long time. And I wonder like how like my nephew would feel if it happened to him. Like, how would he feel? He wouldn't be able to survive in the plaza in his car with all of these people targeting him. He wouldn't be able to. He would be crying like a bitch on the phone. Grandma, Mom, pick me up. Like, my Beamer doesn't work. I can't live on the street. I can't live on a stairwell. Like, how would he feel? So it's just like, he really needs to stop with his protrusions and his attacks, because like, life is about to get real, and grandma's not always going to be around to protect him. You know what I mean? So, I mean, life is going to get very real someday for them, and then they're really going to get their karmic injustices back to them. And I hate to say this, but it's the truth. because for your own family to plot on you and like wish you and your twin flame to break up and then wish that you don't get to be with your kids every day, that's pretty wicked, deep, evil stuff, you know? So it's just like, I'm going to use my story to help you guys. Because if you're not careful to clear that energy, and sometimes you do the best that you can and you can't clear it. Sometimes you just kind of gotta let it ride its wave, you know what I mean? And sometimes your guides and the universe also move things around and shift things around so, you know, you can live out your gifts. So like, I also feel like even though I was attacked and targeted, I feel like the children are with their dads in a way so I can do my spiritual teachings, okay? So I try to look at it in like the glass half full and like a good light, to the point where like, okay, my children are safe. They're no longer in this environment. Their dollhouses and their clothes aren't getting marked up. Their mental health and their psyche is safer in the environments now. They don't have to deal with like all of these attacks on our material things, on our spirits, on our mental. So it's like, in a way, it's good that, you know, they don't live here. So we also want to just shake some negative things away and some cords. And last night I did like a huge generational curse ritual remover with herbs, because my great grandma Antonia, she was a midwife, a doula, she was a medicine woman. And my grandma Clara, she had this really special, like, nurturing vibe. And she was like massage therapist, healer, nurturer, you know, a very good person and a very good soul. That's why I'm very surprised in my mother that she's not able to recognize that, you know, I embody her mom and her grandma's gifts, and that I'm, you know, ascended and I'm special. And she's like giving this person power to where he doesn't even deserve the power in this house. Like, if anything, everyone says that he needs to be with his father, or he needs to move out, you know what I mean? And like, when I came back from the plaza, I was skinny. I had lived on the stairwell for like 3 or 4 days. I was getting targeted in my car. And I invite you to come back to my previous videos to where I share with you what had happened, you know. And I did more than survive that. Like, I fought all of that darkness. I'm more than a survivor. I'm a warrior. And I proved to myself, like, I am still breathing. I am like a rising phoenix, you know. And it's my ancestors who helped me through, and my spirit guides. I know that my great grandma Antonia, I know that she's with me in spirit. I could feel her. These herbal healings, she teaches me from the spirit realm what herbs to implicate. I've never picked up an herb book in my life. I've never even, you know, this is ingrained in me through bloodlines. And this is why I'm very shocked that, you know, my mother acts this way to me, and it's very demeaning and hurtful, but I can't change her mind. You know what I mean? It's like, I love her, but I feel like she doesn't love me, you know. And it that can wreak havoc on a daughter's self-esteem or self-worth, because you want to feel heard, you want to feel cared for by your mom. But when you sit there and you literally look back and you're like, wow, like, she let them divide the family and divide my children from her and me and my dad's house, but she kept them here. It's just like, it's such an injustice, and it's such like a hurt and a pain. And it's like, I've been trying to take care of my physical vessel and my mind the best that I can. You know, if she criticizes me or tries to boss me around and tell me what to do, I try to create distance to protect my mental health and my energy. But I want to say that if you are a mother and you have narcissistic traits, or you're hard on your daughter, that plays out in her self-esteem and her self-worth, and that can really affect her adult relationships. So you have to really be mindful of what you're showing and what environment you're putting your child in. That's why it's good that my children aren't here. Do I miss them and love them every day and think of them every second when I'm not doing videos? Of course. You know, that is a nurturing mother's heart. I feel my children come to me in energy, and I'm still very shocked, you know, that my mother allowed this, because my father is like rolling over in his grave, and he's also with me in spirit, and he's like, I don't want the Buchanans in my house. I'm very disappointed in your mother. I cannot believe her, that she did this to you and my grandchildren, and you're my daughter, and I want you to go back and stand ground, and I want you to, like, he tells me, he's been telling me in the spiritual realms, you know, his spirit will just, it'll be like thoughts and whispers, and I'll sense him around me, and he'll be like, this isn't a Buchanan house, like, remember who you are, remember your power. I'm not happy with her decisions of, you know, being sucked in and influenced by, you know, my grandson, the one that gets away with everything, and it's an injustice. And he sees now, he's in the spirit realm, and he doesn't like it. He does not like it at all, you know. So it's just like, and sometimes it gets so overbearing that I have to send him like out of my room, and I'm just like, okay, leave now. Like, I can't take this. Like, it's too much for me. So let's talk about spirit attachments. So spirit attachments can be, it could be like from a spirit that you were very close with in a past life, that maybe had unfinished business before he crossed over the veil, and maybe he was trying to say something and he couldn't get the words out, and then he attached to you on the way of, you know, ascending up into the light or just crossing the veil. Maybe he wasn't accepted by the gods because of a wrongdoing he had done. And he kind of got caught on Middle Earth, where it's gray and bleak, and some people call this purgatory. And he kind of just got caught on the earth realm, and he can't find the light. Or maybe he, you know, got assigned to be your guardian angel, and so they're going to attach to you. But spirit attachments, they're not guardian angels, but it was someone that you had like a past karmic tie to, whether it was a father, an uncle, or a cousin, or a sister, or a brother, and they will be like latching on to your spirit, like they'll be attached to you. And you know, sometimes you don't make pacts to agree with this, but they're just so attached to you and your energy that they don't know how to let go. They just hold on. So we are going to be clearing these spiritual attachments today and pulling them out, okay? So we are going to be getting some smoky quartz, and we are going to be cutting any spirit attachments. You're no longer welcome here. Leave now. Any spirit attachments that I did not agree with, that I want to detach from my life, leave now. And so it is. You know, you want to declare to the spirit, okay, if you're a lost soul, you're a spirit attachment, my energy and my light is not for you. I choose to be released from this unhealthy spirit attachment, because spirit attachments, they can, like, they will latch onto your energy and they will influence you to do things that maybe is not in your moral compass. Or not only that, but they will just keep you clinging on to past memories because they're still caught in that dimension, and they can't let go. So it is important to clear this, and this is why I have my ground sage and my bay leaves, because we need to clear these spiritual attachments to us, and as well as when we clear from shadow people, you know, and energy vampires and so on and so forth. So yes, I may use personal boundaries in my videos. To better help you on your ascension path, and to better protect you, like help you with you protecting yourself, and integrate knowledge and spiritual wisdom so you know how to protect yourself from these lower vibrational beings or from these attacks. I like to just get a really good burn going, because The burning of herbs, the smoke will give you a sage bath, and you'll be very purified and cleansed. And this is a lifetime for us healers to clear out those generational curses, those malevolent forces of lower vibrations from the evil eye, or the intrusions or their projections, of jealousy, competition. We're going to undo destiny swapping as well. So you could say an incantation out loud. I am an alchemist. I am a goddess. I am powerful. I reverse any type of destiny swapping spells that were done against me in secret. I reverse any type of hex. I reverse any type of curse. I reverse any generational curse. Release from me now. Release from my life. So shall it be. And this is very important. This is very important for you to believe in yourself and to grow after all of the pain. Do not stay in someone's box or like what they painted the picture to others for. Don't vibrate on, oh, they ruined my reputation. I feel like now. No, rise from the pain. Recognize your inner power. Recognize your spiritual truth, your gifts. Why are you here on planet? What is your purpose? You might be an artist or a therapist and not even know it. You might be you might have a gift that, you're different, and that others lack, and that they see this light and these gifts in you and this talent. So that's why they break you down and demean you, So you need to always recognize these gifts within yourself and not let the noise of others overpower your truth, And I'm going to keep speaking on these things because this is the truth, and I'm not going to let the darkness overpower my light. I'm not going to let these negative forces break me down or kill me. I'm not going to let their negative energy or their evil eyes or their jealousy or whatever it may be. I disconnect from the line of it. I disconnect from them. I reject their negative, malevolent, baneful magic, evil cords that they try to send me, and you need to declare this out loud as well, because energy spreads like wildfire, and it's really important who you keep around you. It's also very important what you give your energy to the point where, like, if you are starting to go to Action Church, I don't know if you know about this, but Action Church is a cult, okay? It's not even a real thing. It's all about power and money and all of that reptilian, archonic agenda. Just like Scientology, okay? And just like, Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons, cults, okay? So, like, they don't allow you to free think and think for yourself. You get sucked into this group, and it's like you go with the flow, and it's just like, okay, dude, like, let go, like, be yourself. Like, can you please just not run with the group? Like, get to know yourself. It's okay to vibe alone sometimes. It's okay to, keep a very small circle. It's okay to have one or two or no friends and just be alone. That is okay too, if that's how your personality is. Don't let these archonic beings from their egos be like, oh, well, she has no friends, or nobody likes you. Like, don't live your life trying to people please or fit into their boxes, because you are your own person and you need to recognize your own gifts and powers. So we are also going to use beautiful organites, which the archons and the cults and those evil church leaders hate, as well as energy vampires. They hate this. These have shavings of aluminum and coils and foils, especially like this, and you keep them like close to you when you sleep, or you keep them like by your phone or your electronics, your laptop, your tablet, your TV, whatever. And they're able to fight off EMF pollutants, and they're also able to fight off reptilians and alpha draconians. They hate these, okay? because they're all about control, they're all about abuse, they're all about programming and all that monarch butterfly, like Freemason stuff, like all that Bohemian Grove shit, the cult leaders, the people in positions of power, like some like crooked sheriffs or, you know, crooked lawyers, and the ones that live their lives with addiction problems or double lives, like cheating on their wives all the time, but then in the public eye they just want to act like they're all like high and mighty and perfect, and they're sitting on their fucking pedestals, and then they're like demeaning, you know what I mean, like that power, that greed, that envy, that not envy, but that I just picked up energy, that you know, that ego. So like, which is everywhere now from the Archonic agenda. The ego is really, really destructive, because it's all about, oh, I have more than her, or I have a job and she doesn't, like she's nothing, or, you know, that ties into egoistic monarch programming on our human earth plane, and it's very destructive because humans fight each other over, like, they compete, they try to be better, and it's just like that. All of that stems from ego. All of it, you need to, you know, if you're on a spiritual path, that you've shed your ego many times. You've had many ego deaths. Okay, so my next video is going to be about the ego death and working through your spiritual ascension symptoms. And I want to thank you so much for joining me and for allowing me to enlighten you and allowing me to spread truth, and not only light, but just also radiance. And I'm feeling energy vampires right now, and it's very hard. So I'm going to say namaste until next time, and sending you love. And please feel free to make a donation with all of my spiritual knowledge, my shamaness medicine woman gifts, as well as follow and like and subscribe. Thank you so much, and sending you guys so much love. And you matter, and you're important, and your gifts are needed on Mother Gaia. And never stop being true to yourselves, and always act from your heart chakra, your heart space. Love and light.